AI in schools, let's talk about it.
Am and have always been firmly anti-AI. And I think it's especially bad for learning. We need to learn to work with it. No, only way truly out is to do some form of ungrading. Grades are given not in a numerical or alphabetical format, but in direct feedback to the student in terms of how they are actually doing.
So how do you solve a problem like AI in schools? I don't think you do. It's here, and a lot of people will say we have to teach our students how to use it responsibly, but as this college professor said, and as I also believe, I don't think there is a way to use it responsibly before kids actually know how to think, read, and write. A creator called Corporate Podcast Gossip gave this analogy. She said, if you're using AI and I'm not, I'm taking the stairs and you're taking the escalator. Yes, the stairs are more arduous, but I am building myself up. One of the classes that I taught was AP Literature and Composition, and in that class I would have kids write timed essays to mimic the test situation with pen and paper. But I also had extended assignments where they would read a novel, have 5 weeks to read the novel, write a literary analysis paper, and then hand it in. Well, I knew with AI there was no way I could do that, so I changed my assignment. In the years before I retired, what I had the students do was read the book, and then for a particular week of school, Monday through Friday, they would come in, they would start a Google Doc, they would write the whole period, they would have to turn in the Google Doc at the end of the period, and then not touch the paper for the rest of the night. When they came into class the next day, I would release the Google Docs, they could work for the whole class period, same thing, they would turn it in, not have access to it all night, and then it repeated. They could look at their papers at home, but they could not edit them. And while they were working in class, I had GoGuardian open so I could see that the only tab that they had open was the one for their Google Doc. Any outside sources that they wanted to use needed to be printed and brought to class each day. Not only did they take about 120 minutes to write the paper over the course of 3 days, they then had 2 days left to edit the paper. These were carefully written and carefully edited papers, and a lot of people have said to me when I talked about this, well, you lost 5 days of class time. I didn't lose 5 days of class time. The kids were working for 5 days. Kids who were absent could come to my office hours, or they could come to my room even if I was teaching, log on to their Chromebook. I would release the paper for them. I would have it up on GoGuardian to record what websites were open. Kids aren't ready for AI until they have learned critical thinking, analysis, making inferences, the basics of writing and the basics of reading. If I were still in the classroom, I would continue doing that project the way that I did it. I would also make sure that anything in class was handwritten, and then I would switch back to a lot of the projects that I used to do in my early career.